Hi, welcome to Ani Recapped. Today, I will explain a 2018 mystery adventure called Penguin Highway. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. Aoyama is a bright boy from Japan, and he likes science and knowledge very much. He is a fourth grader and dreams of becoming an adult, so he could enjoy all the perks it brings. He thinks he is way smarter than the rest of his friends. One day while traveling to school, he stumbles upon a group of kids who are looking at the nearby field. They were looking at penguins, which is very strange considering penguins do not live in that part of the world. Aoyama approaches them and instantly finds the situation intriguing and wants to know what is happening. At his school, kids talk about the recent penguin sightings and they all seem to be very surprised by it. Aoyama and his friend Uchida talk about the penguins, and they both agree they should investigate what is going on, how they ended up here. There is a kid called Suzuki, who is the only one who thinks penguins are stupid and mocks everyone who thinks otherwise. He is a school bully, and does not like Aoyama. As he was harassing everyone, Hamamoto arrives. She is also extremely smart like Aoyama, and Suzuki has a crush on her. Later that day, our main character visits a local dentist to check his loose tooth, and he notices Suzuki. He plays with him a bit, telling him he looks like he has a dreadful mouth infection, and that the dentist will probably remove all his teeth or he might die. Suzuki is then terrified to go inside to see the doctors, and when he enters, he cries and makes a scene. The lady who works there then sits next to Aoyama and asks him why he did that. Aoyama actually knows the lady very well, and he has a crush on her. They talk about different things, and she admires him because of his intellect. As they talk, she states that she also loves penguins. The next day, Aoyama and Uchida go on a hunt for penguins. They inquire around the town about the recent sightings, and they check multiple locations in the hope of finding some penguins. They make a map that helps them navigate the area. Aoyama explains to his friend how penguins move on a specific trail when they walk towards the sea, and that it is called the Penguin Highway. As they were chilling and talking, they suddenly notice a penguin and start to chase it. More penguins appear moving in line, so Aoyama happily says this must be the Penguin Highway. They follow them to the woods entrance, but do not dare to enter. There is a legend about the silver moon that is located inside the forest, and they are too afraid to enter. Angry Suzuki then shows up, enraged because Aoyama made him look stupid earlier at the dentist. His group mocks Aoyama and ties him to the vending machine. Suzuki also destroys his map and takes a piss on it. His lady then appears, smiling at him because he acts like nothing happened. He eventually asks her to set him free, and she notices he has a loose tooth. She offers herself to pull it out, but he cannot stand still in front of her. She then throws a soda can up into the air to distract him while pulling his tooth out. While flying, that small piece of metal turns into a penguin. The boy is simply mesmerized and wants to know more. He later asks her to repeat the throw. They go to the same location and she throws many things up, but nothing happens. Aoyama later meets Uchida, who shows him he found one penguin. They decide to take it to the aquarium to find out more about it, but as they are traveling on a train, the penguin starts to act strangely. They exit the train and their penguin suddenly turns into a soda can. It seems like penguins cannot leave the town for some reason. In the evening, Aoyama meets the lady and they play chess. Suddenly the lights go out, and figures on the chessboard start to shake. They turn into bats, shocking everyone in the room. Aoyama later asks the lady if they could repeat the experiment once again. He thinks she manifests penguins when it is sunny outside, and bats when it is dark. And he was right, she suddenly manifests multiple penguins and instantly likes it. Then they visit her place where Aoyama spends the night. At dinner, he asks her about the ocean because he has never seen it, and the lady promises that if he solves her penguin mystery, she will take him there. As she falls asleep, he stares at her and tells us that he feels weird when he is next to her, which means that he is truly in love with her. Aoyama is later seen at the school playing chess with Hamamoto. After the game, she asks him to join her, telling him she has something very interesting to show him. Suzuki watches them enraged, since he does not want anyone around Hamamoto. She then takes Aoyama and Uchida to the local forest. On the way she explains how she made up that thing about the deadly silver moon to prevent everyone from entering the forest. She then leads them to a big open area where a huge watery sphere can be seen. She calls it the ocean, and it represents a huge mystery to her. She wants Aoyama and Uchida to join her in her research. She wants to know everything about the sphere, what it is, how it was made, and what its purpose is. Since they are into science, they instantly agree to join her. The next few weeks they spent many hours around the sphere researching it. One night at the local summer festival, Hamamoto meets the crew with her dad, who is an exceptional scientist as well. Then suddenly the lady appears, and Hamamoto becomes jealous. She is into Aoyama, but he does not see that, since he only cares about science and the lady. The next day the trio again goes to investigate the ocean sphere, but they are interrupted by Suzuki and his bullies. He is enraged because Hamamoto spends time with Aoyama, so he wants to ruin their relationship. He attacks Aoyama, but then the lady appears, and she is not alone. She is accompanied by a horde of penguins, who attack the bullies and scare them away. As she talks to the crew, her penguins start to act strangely. There is a connection between them and the sphere, and they react to each other. The ocean goes crazy, throwing huge water bubbles all over the place. One aims for Uchida, but the lady throws a soda which turns into a penguin that destroys the bubble before it hurts Uchida. Hamamoto becomes enraged because she despises the lady. She yells and asks Aoyama why he did not tell her about the lady and her special penguin powers. He says as little as possible to protect the lady, which makes Hamamoto even more angry. As they all leave the forest, they stumble upon the group of scientists, who ask them if they saw anything suspicious and tell them to leave this dangerous forest. Since scientists are now involved, Aoyama thinks his lady will soon be in danger since she is related to all this. That evening she is seen having a nightmare. She dreams about some unknown creatures that truly frighten her. The following morning weird things happen in the town. Scientists are all over the place, and perfectly cut trees and objects can be seen. In the woods, Uchida and Aoyama see a weird-looking creature chasing the penguins. Things start to escalate, so Aoyama tells the rest of the group he is out. He wishes to discontinue their research, because he is concerned that scientists will take his lady to a research facility, once they learn everything. In the evening, Hamamoto's father visits the lady. He explains that he is a weather scientist and asks her some questions about the recent events. The next day Aoyama joins the lady on a trip. She is taking him to the seacoast, but as they were moving away from the town, she starts to feel sick, just like that penguin did. Suddenly she collapses and the ground becomes alive, and multiple weird-looking monsters appear for a moment. They go back, since she cannot travel further. The day after, in the school, Suzuki brags about the monster they caught in the forest. Moments later those scientists from the woods appear and interrogate Suzuki. They take them to an improvised lab in the forest where he tells them everything he knows, thus exposing the Hamamoto's research. She follows Suzuki to the forest and there she meets her father, who is working on the case. When she sees Suzuki she goes crazy and slaps him in front of everyone because of his betrayal. The scientists are later in the evening seen exploring the forest, and then something happens. They see multiple penguins being chased by those monster creations we have already seen, and the sphere that has grown extremely big. It swallows them and the scene ends there. Then we see Aoyama at his home having a nightmare. He dreams about the lady, and in his sleep he resolves the mystery. Now everything is clear to him. He goes to school, and an emergency broadcast suddenly appears on the television. The news reporter says how a large sphere is growing in the woods and that it will swallow their city. The scientists who were exploring it have gone missing, and the town must be evacuated. After hearing this, Hamamoto snaps. She had to abandon her research, and now her father is gone too. Aoyama comforts her and tells her he thinks he could help them all, but he cannot do it without the lady. They all agree to reach for her, and Suzuki offers himself to help them escape the school, since they are now all in lockdown until the evacuation. They try to escape the area, but they encounter the security, so Suzuki prevents them from grabbing Aoyama, who escapes. He approaches the lady and tells her everything. He says the sphere, or the ocean, represents space and time, and in some ways, the edge of the world. It is connected to both the penguins and the lady. He tells her that she is not actually human, but the ocean's creation, like the penguins. He tells her they must go inside the sphere and rescue those scientists. She agrees and they leave immediately. On their way, everything starts to turn into penguins. The objects on the side of the road, just like the ground beneath them, they are suddenly followed by millions of penguins who form the penguin highway that leads straight to the sphere. As they ride on the penguins, everything around them starts to shift and become surreal. The town now looks completely different. They reach the sphere and jump inside. Accompanied by an army of penguins, they are now inside the ocean. Everything looks beautiful and out of this world. Buildings and random objects are seen floating in the air, as if there is no gravity. As they travel, the lady says how she actually has no memory of her younger age, that way confirming the Aoyama's theory that she is not actually human. As they travel, they stumble upon the missing scientists and tell them they will all go home soon. Aoyama tells the lady they must break the sphere to go home, but her existence will then be compromised. But it is the only way. The penguin army then does its thing, and they break the sphere. It bursts, flooding the whole town. After the incident, everything goes back to its place. The sphere is gone, those scary creations as well, and the scientists are back home. Aoyama then meets the lady for the last time, at the place where they previously played chess. As they talk, he almost starts to cry, because he is very sad. A countless number of penguins are watching them from the outside, and they gradually disappear. The lady then says her final goodbye, exits the place, and disappears. Hey, thank you for staying all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It takes only a second, but it means everything to us. Have a great day and see you in the next video.